So in the Navy, where they take over Joel Zillig's The Rapist stuff. And so in the Navy, where they take over Tom Serson, Jim Riley, Trevor Rieger, Joe Zillig, Harry J. Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave Ballamorad, Perlita Jones, Quinn Walms, Gordon Harry 138, Doug King, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, 1961 amphibious baseman that Blue Boy boxes, the Biddy Tibet 4, the GPS Paso Robo, Anglet Paso Robo, Rapist Knight, Charles T. Ellery, the Ellery Boys, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall. In the Navy, they get to take over you guys' stuff because you guys compromise them, and then they get to tell the story, and anyone who helps them, like the Air Force or the other militaries or the police, the firefighters in those families, or, you know, the people that you all abused, right? Trashed their technology, denied medical treatment. So Harry or Bernard, Perlita, Dave, you guys ask, why does Tom always win? It's not me always winning. It's called military success. It's called sharing my power. It's called dropping the ego game. You guys want to run the ego game and pretend that you've won and you have control. So the Navy, in the Navy, where they take over Jim Jones, the Jonestown's cult, the David Koresh, the Branch Davidian cult, the Rainbow cult, the LGBT community. Let's see who else. Timothy McVeigh, Wayne Williams, Warren's Jeff, the troublemakers. In the Navy, they get to take over you guys' stuff because you're not responsible and you compromised our nation. And then you guys held children and all that prisoner. And then in the Navy, where they take over the BB, the Barnum and Bailey circus stuff, Bernard, because you're irresponsible and you're a liar. And you guys raped and mutilate people's children. In the Navy, where they take over Team Yahoo, Perlita Jones, Quinwan, Karen Faust, Brian Faust, Stan Faust, Country and Western, because you guys don't want to listen. And so when people tell you that they don't want that, or you guys stalk my girlfriends, or, you know, people I like, and you torture them, it means you're irresponsible. Karen, Brian, Stan, Perlita, Don Wiley, Elton Anderson, you know, Team Bitted Fat, they get to take over your stuff. Because Karen, you pushed your agenda instead of what? Listening to your husband or your son. And then they mutilate my face, Brian Miller's face, Heidi Beswick's face. So in the Navy, when you guys act irresponsible and compromise a nation, Joe Zillig, the rapist boy who's the massive liar, they get to take over your stuff and let you pretend as you destroy trillions of dollars, putting yourselves in front of, you know, people who had items first. Like those children that you allowed to be raped and mutilated and destroyed, Robomite and Harry and Charles. You guys thought that was funny. Then you guys sit around with your waves or whatever and try to cover it up with their hacks, and LGBT makes up stories for Perlita and all that. And you announced your dictatorship, Perlita, and your victory for Viva Mexico and Texas. But you have to ask yourself, does the rest of the nation agree? Do those high-ranking officials agree? Shows it's your problems. So in the Navy, if you compromise yourself, they get to take your stuff. Be careful, people. Tactical warfare, and like I said, I choose Truth to Power and the Super Project Jixie. So if you're patient, Brian Miller and Bailey Kintier and Kimberly Beswick and the Schwartzes and, you know, Katie Godfrey and any girl that's abused that I know, you get to tell your story. And then the rest of them can go around. See, in the Navy, where they get to take over the Bloods and Crips and MS-13 stuff and learn about their hacks on the internet, because they compromised the nation. Okay, so Bernard, you can raise your militia, but like I said, I choose Israeli Jewish intelligence. You guys can pretend you know what it is, but you really don't. And guess what, David? Bella Morad and your daddy and so on and so forth, Jamaica Street, Pickens Street, Aurora, Colorado, Harry, and your, massive terrorist attack and your proof. Then in the Navy, they get to prove some stuff about you all and what you people did to completely innocent people for your joke. Understand? Because it might say some people it wasn't a funny joke about what you all did.